everyone. Welcome back. This is Masked Crusader again, and it appears that I've been using the Prospector's pick completely wrong. So in this episode, we're going to take a look at how the Prospector's pick works. I dug out two mines, one of tetrahedrite and one of cassiterite, and wasted like 2 picks trying to find the vein before giving up. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to use the Prospector's pick, and I've got a second one just in case this one breaks, but I'm confident that it's going to be fine. So right here, what we've got a piece of tetrahedrite on the ground. So there's a tetrahedrite vein somewhere close by. So the first thing we do is we dig straight down, try to get down close to or roundabout where the vein starts. So with tetrahedrite copper, it starts down like in the middle of the top layer or the second layer. So we're going to dig down, I don't know, 10, 15 blocks or something. And then I'll show you how to find the center of your vein. All right, so we're going to start about here. Let's go ahead and, ladder up. Where'd my other ladder go? Give me that back. So we're going to ladder up just to get back to the surface. So it's like 15 blocks down, which is fine. That's a good place to start. And first thing we do is we decide what direction we're going to go. So I'm just going to go this way. We start looking around for areas, and it says there's a very large sample, which is great. But we're going to go this way about 10 blocks, and we'll check our how the thing comes back, the readings on our pick. All right, we're about 10 blocks in, so let's look. Still says very large, so we just keep going. We want to keep going until it says large, when it drops the very keyword, because that'll give us the approximate edge of the vein that we're going to be digging out. So we'll just keep going a little ways, stop every once in a while to check our thing. It's very still there, so we just keep going. All right, so here we have large sample, and if we go a little bit over, we have very large. So we check around. So it looks like large is at this point, very large is at this point, even though sometimes it says no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this rock that we built out, and I'm going to grab a couple cobblestone, and I'm going to mark the edge with a piece of cobblestone. Let's see, where was it again? That's very. All right, so we're going to mark it right here. And then we go do it all 4 directions. So I'll come back after I've done it all 4 directions. All right, so I've got all 4 quarters done. I went this way, of course. This was the first thing, and then I got the coordinates of each of these blocks at the end of the varies, and I divided that by 2, and that got me right here. I went this direction, and large stopped, 3 blocks in, and then I went that way, and as you can see, I ran into some of the vein. And the vary stops over here at this block, so halfway through ends up being this torch right here, and this is the very center of this vein, which means that I can start now branch mining every couple blocks this way, and the vein should be concentrated right around the center and should branch out and get sparse as we go away. But at this level, it seems pretty good. We can go up several blocks, we can go down several blocks, and we should be able to find a pretty good sized vein. I already dug out a few of them in its normal size, which is good. But I'm going to go ahead and clear out the rest of this stuff, and then we will go back to the shack and start making bronze ingots so that we can make a bronze anvil and officially enter the Bronze Age. So I'll see you then. All right, so I was sitting here playing and digging out this mine, and my wife had a really good idea. She said, well, why don't you dig down and find the bottom of the the mine. This is sphalerite. We don't want that yet. I need some bismuthenite before I can use it. So she said, why don't you dig down to the bottom and top like we did left and right with this thing? So I dug left and right and found the edges of the very, what is it? What is the wording? Very large. And we found the north, south, east, and west. So she said, why don't you dig down and find the limit of the very down and up. So I went up, and I died, actually. But you can see that it comes all the way up to the surface. So that's awesome. There's a ton there. So from the surface down, it's, what is it up there? It is, let's F3 it. So up to the surface layer, which is right here, and I brought a trapdoor so that I can put a trapdoor there so I don't fall down. I did die. I dug up and the dirt fell on me and I died. So right here. So it is the uppermost is 146, and then I dug down, and I will show you what happened when I dug down. So went down, and you can see that it's all over the place here. And I went down and I found a cave, which is nice. And this is the bottom of the very. So I wonder why there's a missing torch here. I had 2 torches, but yeah, I mean there's some stuff over here. It looks like this is about as far to this side as it goes. I'm gonna have to be really careful when I'm digging out over here from above. But it looks like basically everything from the ground level to this cave, and from each of the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, that we had found earlier, is all this tetrahedrite. So I'm going to start clearing some of this out and digging. It's going to be awesome. And then I think when we're done, we're going to go take as much of this as we can and turn it into tetrahedrite. No, not tetrahedrite. Bronze ingots. I know I said that before. We're going to make, we need 14 bronze ingots. And then from those 14 bronze ingots, we need some flux. So we're going to have to find flux and a kern. Kern? Yeah, I think it's called a kern. To get the flux. I don't know how we're going to do that. And we're going to make a bronze anvil. So stay tuned while I get all this prepared for the Bronze Age. I'll meet you back at home. Cheers. All right, welcome back, my minions. This is again Masked Crusader. We're continuing our trip through TerraFirmaCraft. We're still very large. We can still go that way more. Okay, so I worked on this quite a bit. I've set up. So here, let me go down. I'll show you what I've done. First of all, I started at the bottom, which is a very bad thing. It ends up being very open and cobblestone falls, and it's not very nice. So yeah, I got a lot of the stuff out of the bottom though. This right here, this level is the main mid-level that I did, and I've done a lot of these too. I branch mine. The way I'm branch mining is too wide, and so yeah, this was the floor of our original way. And I went up and I started branch mines here, and I ended up in a canyon, which is great. And it's raining, and I ended up branch mining this way, and there's still a ton, just gobs here. I didn't quite go up to the dirt because I didn't want to have it keep falling on me. But that brings me to my point that I think I want to probably dig my next branch here, each direction. I know that there will be a few places where the tetrahedrite is above the dirt, or right below the dirt. But I figure if I stay only another block or two above this section here, that it should be okay. Now, as I've been building, I've been using thatch. A couple episodes ago, I think I showed you my field that I dug out that I want to turn into an orchard that way. and I used a trusty, I guess it's not rusty. I used a scythe to clear out all the grass, and I got an absolute ton of thatch, and it actually works pretty well. Thatch isn't, as you can see by the roof of my house, thatch isn't affected by gravity, so it stays where you put it, which is very useful when you're mining, because the cobblestone falls up from below your feet. So I'll clear out the other half of that mine later. I do still have a full chest of cassiterite. Right, well, most of a chest full of cassiterite. More than I'll ever need. This is everything I pulled out of that so far. It's almost a full chest. And I made some ingots. I don't know if I made enough ingots. Here are the copper ingots. There's 16 of those. Oh yeah, I got plenty. But the limiting factor, today we're going to enter the Bronze Age, by the way. The limiting factor, which means, okay. The limiting factor was the fact that I didn't have any flux. So I didn't record that. It was almost a year process. Let's look at the date. So the date is August 5th. I don't remember what the last date was because I've literally played this game for 2 weeks. Real 2 weeks. And I just barely found some flux about 2,000 blocks that direction. The way you make flux, let's see if I've got some. Yes, so this dolomite right here is where you get flux from. And I found a dolomite quarry or a dolomite rock, and I collected some. And the way it works is there's flux. Here's your hammer. So I made a bronze hammer, and I just popped my flux off. All right. So the way you make flux is you take certain rocks, dolomite works, and you take a hammer and you put them in your crafting grid and you get flux. So that's nice. And to make your anvil, you need to use something hard, and that's where this comes in. This is a piece of granite that I mined out of a mine, and if you right click on it twice, 3 or 4 times with your hammer, and you can place your hammer on top of it, it becomes like an anvil. But because it's not a real anvil, it's just like a piece of rock with a hammer on top. You can't do anything with it. I won't be able. The only thing I can't even do plans with it. The only thing I do is weld pieces of bronze. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 of these bronze. I'm going to pop 2 of them off. One was not a bronze. There's bronze. There's a copper. Shouldn't set them next to each other, apparently. So let's pop another one of these off. So the way you do this is you have to cook these and get them warm in like a furnace or a pit fire. Not a pit fire. I suppose it could. I was wondering if I can do it in here. If there's enough heat in this thing. Let's see. I don't know if there is. I might need to make a forge. And a forge is easy to build, but it's not convenient. So let's go ahead and see if I can get these warm at all. I'm getting stars, so that's good. I don't know how much wood it's going to take, though, to get them up to weldable. All right, I just checked the wiki. Still heating. It turns out that I've got to get these up to bright red for them to be weldable. And right now, I've got it very hot, and it's still getting warm, but I'm not sure that this fire is hot enough to get to bright red. We'll see. Let's go find some more wood, because this might take a lot of wood. I don't want to take those yet. There we go. This might take a lot of wood to get these hot enough. There's very hot, which means it's going to switch to faint red at the next star. Here we go. So yeah, I don't know if this is possible, if I can do it in the fireplace here. But we'll see if we can get it hot. Ooh, I can work it, but it's not weldable. Weldable has to be bright red. Yeah, so I'm going to sit here for a while and heat these up. and see. Ooh, there's dark red. We'll see if we can get it up to bright red and weldable. So I let it cool down too much. But the hottest you can get ingots in a pit fire, a fire pit, is to dark red. It won't get hotter than dark red. So we're going to have to make a forge. Luckily, a forge is pretty easy to make. All you have to do is disconnect the ground around 5 blocks of rock, and the rock will pop off. So I can pop this rock off. And I'm going to take it over to a place that direction where we're going to build our forge. We're eventually going to build a forge like building, but basically it's just going to start out as a forge and a rock, and we're going to make ourselves an anvil. So stay tuned. All right, in order to build the forge or use the forge, I have to make some charcoal. So we're going to make some charcoal. We may not actually make we may not make a bronze anvil today. So I moved all the wood into this pile, and we have to cover it with dirt in order to get it to ignite. So we're going to go ahead and cover this with dirt. Now, the one thing that we're going to build a fire in, we're going to build a fire in the hole here. And then we're going to try to, I don't know how we're going to do this. Because I have to get down there. And I've got, where's my shovel? There it is. So I've got this hole. Let's make a fire pit real quick. Might catch everything on fire. So what I got to do is I got to build a fire. I got to light the fire. Then I got to put wood on top of the fire. And then I got to cover this with I got to give it wood too, huh? Do I have enough wood? I cut down a few more trees. Yeah, here. Oh yeah, I got plenty of wood. All right, so here's the deal. We're going to go ahead and get this all ready. And we're going to, I got my dirt ready. Okay, so 3 of these are what causes a fire. We go like this to light the fire. We're going to open this, drop a few more in, grab this, load it up. Good. And, oops. Come on. Woo! No! There we go. Okay, so now that there's no oxygen under there, that was close, man. This will cook all of this wood under this big old dirt pile into charcoal. And when it's done, some of this dirt will cave, the particles will stop. So I guess that's as far as we get to go today. I was going to build my house on this hill, but that's why that hole was dug out. But it looks like this will be a good place to make some charcoal. I wanted to build the forge either next to that wall or next to that wall. I don't know. But as it stands, we're making charcoal. So next episode, we will use the forge, and we will get it. We will harvest our charcoal. We will we will build a forge. We will make our anvil, and we will enter the Bronze Age. So that's all I got for today. And I guess we'll see you next time. Cheers.